Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 5 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to the series, definitely check out some of the older videos. Consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on this series as well as others. Leave me a like and a comment. We will go through a quick recap and then we'll get into the video. Okay, before we jump into episode 5, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who is subscribed and everyone who watches these videos. It is awesome. I love making this series. I love making this channel as a whole. I did go ahead, I made a Patreon. If any of you feel generous enough and are willing and able to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I would love to get to the point, truthfully, where I could do this, full time. That would be amazing. And again, absolutely no obligation. You subscribing and watching the videos that's plenty. But for those of you who may want to support the channel and who are able, definitely check it out. I will leave a link in the description. So, in the last episode, we worked on our industrial area. We reorganized the center area a little bit, kind of clearing out some of the forestry, moving it over here, and focusing this on kind of our growables, our dandelions, and our berries. In today's episode, there are a few things that I want to try and tackle. First off, why don't we actually mark this area for cutting? Not this area, though. Let's come through here. Let's unmark this center for cutting. We don't need that to be cut anymore, nor do we need this area cut. I'm going to leave this area marked. I'm also going to mark this area for cutting because we're going to work on that, getting those logs cut down, because we are going to need a significant amount of logs in this episode. However, the first thing that I want to focus on is going to be food. So I want to alright, I kind of lied. First, I'm going to do that. But next off, I want to get rid of these trees, and I want to get rid of this row of cassava. And let's prioritize that. Okay. So, our industrial area is looking good. And let's see, let's prioritize those as well. Let's get that done. And over here, we're going to do some destruction. Let's get rid of that. 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 And let's get rid of all of that. Okay. So, a comment was made in the previous episode. Daff Collins. Excuse me, Daff Collins actually made a great comment, which we're going to get to, regarding hauling posts in water. But the comment that I really wanted to talk to, Kevin Watkins made a great comment about the narrower the waterway, the faster the flow, and therefore the more efficient your water wheels. So these, like this one's not even spinning at all. And it's essentially because our waterway here is too wide. So I want to come through and start to, essentially narrow the waterway. And we are going to do that with levees. So we are going to build a boatload of levees in here in order to accomplish this. So we're just going to start by doing like this section right here, and we'll get those done. Okay. So now we got these cassavas removed. The reason for that is that I want to build a path across here to make it easier for them to access this area and for us to plant cassavas all throughout here. So let's get this path deleted. Let's come into plantable crops, cassava, and we will fill up this area first for now. Okay. Now, fermenters. I would also love to get rid of a couple of these. Let's see, how many do I need? think 2 will do it. Because if we get some paths in there, we should be able to fit a compact water wheel and another fermenter right here. We should be able to connect that up. I think 3 fermenters will be a good quantity. And let's get that built. Okay, and we're getting these logs cut down. That is great. They can reach all of them, which is perfect. It's only two guys in there. Okay, so now back to Daft Collins' comment regarding water and hauling posts. So he brought up a great comment, which is essentially that I am playing this in a very inefficient manner. I have 8 actually, with the 2 over here, 8 water pumps for 62 beavers. That's pretty excessive, and a big reason for that is that I'm not utilizing hauling posts to their full effectiveness. Essentially, I am missing out on a lot of the efficiency of these buildings. Now, we have them prioritized by haulers, but because the hauling posts are not full, the workers in the water pumps are having to move back and forth and carry their own water. It's a really great comment. It's very extensive by Daft Collins. I believe it was on episode 4. So I would really check that out if you are curious at all as to what in the world I'm talking about. Very, very helpful video, I will say. Okay, so with that being said, I'm essentially going to try and add very few jobs until we can get these hauling posts filled up. And in fact, our water supply is virtually full already. So I'm going to pause 2 of these water pumps and we can go ahead over here. Now, a YouTuber named Paul made a great comment, which is we should get some Lidos. So let's do that. Let's get the Lido unlocked and we can get you some Lidos. So we're going to add a path in here. And then I think I'll fill that up as well. And then if we go in and get the Lido, maybe put it right there, we can get a path coming over here and get a nice shrub in there like that. And we can get the Lidos built, which will be great. Okay. So we are getting this built. Let's go ahead and speed this up so that we can continue to get this all built. We are starting to run out of housing. We actually have 3 homeless beavers. So I think we're going to need to rectify that in some way. Now, what that way is going to be, I'm not quite sure. I think for now, we'll come into housing. Let's get another house in here. Before I forget, we have to pause all these water pumps because we are in a drought. So let's get another house in here. We can get a path going out to it. Perfect. And now let's work on our prioritization. So we are prioritizing this fermenter. We no longer need to do that. It's not going to be done, obviously, before the drought. I do want to prioritize this walkway so that we can continue to plant all of our cassavas. We can pause these 2 lumber mills because they are not being utilized any longer. And we can continue to go from there. Now, I imagine that we are going to end up removing, I'm thinking 2 of these water wheels. So let's start that process now while we are in this drought. So let's get these removed. I'm also going to remove this so that I can actually go ahead and put a levee in here. Let's get all these resources picked up. And then we'll get a row of levees across here. Okay. Now, we are going to need a little bit of power. And I just realized this as I deleted that stuff. Let's get a couple of power wheels in here. Let's get a quad. Let's get that stuff built right away. And then we're actually going to need to get these built. Just to tie the power in, because we're going to need a gear, a single gear of which we have none, so that we can jump our power back up here. And let's get another power wheel in there. Let's get all of that built. Actually, I'm going to leave that open until they build this quad power, whatever it's called. What do they call it? Power shaft intersection. Okay, and let's get another power wheel in here. And let's prioritize this entire build so that they get that built. Okay, and do we have enough planks to build both of these? We need 25 plus 8. Yes, we do. We do have enough planks, which is good. So we should be able to get our couple gears to tie that in. And then these power wheels will be able to power this entire thing. Okay, so let's get some more levees in here. Like that. And then we are also going to need some levees down here. Yep, at that level. And then I would also like to get rid of this so that I can continue to fill in with levees. Man, and then are we going to be super crazy? Yes, we are. Let's get rid of all of this and all of this. And all of this. I don't think... Yeah, these can't be picked up, which is unfortunate. But this stuff can be. So let's get those picked up. Okay, we have a couple gears. Get that power wheel built. Or, sorry, we don't have a couple gears. We have a couple planks, but we only need a couple gears to be able to make this work. Okay, so let's get some more levees in here. First, we are going to fill this up. And then we're going to fill this up. And then we are going to fill this up. Yeah. This is gonna be nice. Alright, so we're getting a couple gears. We just need one more gear, and then we can finally get this vertical power shaft built. Then we can stop making the gears. Actually, no. We need... There we go. 2 gears. So we still have a gear. So we can pause that. We should have a gear. Where is the a gear going? Please tell me the a gear... Oh, man. Alright, so we do need another gear. Because I need a vertical... power shaft right here. Let's get that whole thing built right off the rip. I think in order to do that, we're going to need this one built, maybe? Not sure. But then after that, We can focus on all of these. Get those built. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. We need a path in here to connect that up. We do have 1.5 days left. Let's see how we're doing on everything. How are we doing on everything? Population looking pretty good. I might come through here and pause a couple of these. So we'll pause that one. Pause that one. Yeah, just because I don't want our population to get completely away from us. So maybe leave 4 operational for now. Just because I don't want to completely outstrip mainly our food supply. Yeah, our food supply is what I am genuinely concerned about. So if we fill this whole area in with cassava... I think if we can get a pretty solid supply of cassava and we can get this 3rd fermenter up and running, we should be fairly solid. Yeah. Okay. So this gear workshop no longer necessary. We do need some planks. So let's get that opened up. Hopefully we can get a couple planks going. How did these beavers get down there? These beavers, man, you know? I don't know how they managed to do that, but it's pretty comical, and now they're both starving and thirsty. But at least they have wet fur. I mean, that is, you know, that's the priority. Man, it's kind of funny. I mean, I think it's funny. Oh man, the beavers. What can you say? They really need to figure themselves out. That's for sure. Come on, we gotta save them. I'm genuinely concerned that they're not gonna make it out. I think they will, if we can just get the logs in here to get this thing built. And they're free. Okay. So now before any of them go back down there, let's get this whole thing built so there's no more beavers stuck down there. They should be okay. Let's see, we can get rid of this as well. And then we can actually reconnect this all with a path. We can remove this. Get that picked up. Because I think what we're going to do is we're going to put some levees in over here. So, let's see. Let's get that one built. Man, what? How? How do they even get there? These beavers, I swear. I don't know how they do this stuff. It's pretty impressive, though, quite honestly. You know, in a ridiculous way. Just getting stuck everywhere. Ooh, water. Oh, boy. Alright, emergency water. Get all of these back up and running. Oh man, how long was the drought over, and how long were we out of resources? Yikes, that was close. I mean, we have the water now, and it is going up, which is good. But that was almost bad. All right, and we're gonna have to kind of walk this back as we go, in order to get a nice clean line. Okay, and now that they got all these removed, we can go back in and get this set up. And I'm actually going to run this path here. I'm going to get rid of these once this whole thing is built. But now we can go back in and get our power hooked back up. There we go. Okay. So this should be getting built. Let's come back in here. Let's get some more levees. And then we are actually going to go through and put some paths in here once we have the opportunity. But let's continue to walk these levees back. We really need this fermenter up and running, just because food, again, it's concerning, and I really don't want, you know, there to be an issue with regard to the food. We have some cassava stockpiled, we have some fermented cassava stockpiled, but still not huge quantities. Okay, and as far as lumberjacks go, thinking 6 too many. 6 might be too many for this size. I think probably 4 could handle it. But we'll stick with 6 for now. All right, so let's put the housing on moderate priority, just because kind of looks like we're going to need it. Then let's see. Could we get the row house? Could get the row house. We could also get the large row house for 600 science. Let's get that. It only takes logs. And we could go ahead and get some row houses in here. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 row houses. Kind of like that. Kind of makes it like one block. This would be like a dense downtown. And then if we go into decoration, 2x3 roof. Something like that. That doesn't really make much sense. We're going to drain the rain back over here. But that is okay. That's okay. Or is that not okay? That's not okay. What if we did something like that? Get rid of that. Go with a single and a... Actually, no. This is going to go down. Connect all of that up. And then if we go back into decoration, we get the 2x2 roof. Put that in like that. So that will connect those up. And then I'm actually going to get rid of that. I'm going to build some temporary scaffolding up here. So if we get some scaffolding up to there. And let's see, we would need... how do I get down here? So, something like this. And this is going to be an enormous waste of resources. But it's going to look nice. And that's all that matters, you know, is that it's going to look nice. We'll get a house there. A couple more row houses. And then a house there, or a roof there. Yeah, that will look nice. Okay, let's go back through our prioritizing. Let's check food. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on food. Water, we're doing pretty good on water. Levees. Let's prioritize some stuff. So let's prioritize these levees. Let's get a levee in there. Let's get rid of this. And let's get all of these built. Okay, so then the question is going to be power. So we're going to want, let's see, we're going to want right, turn, a couple straight power shafts, and then this is going to be power shafts like this. Connect that up. Like that. And then I'm going to cover this whole thing in platforms and get a path back over there, like so. And then if we put in a little quad power shaft there, and then a straight power shaft, let's get all of that built. Priority. Okay. So, now the question is, how are we doing with everything we've got planned? Let's actually come through. I'm going to delete a couple of those just so that I can see what's underneath and confirm that it gets built. Let's get all of that built. Now we can come through, delete those. We could say pick those up. And then we could come through here with a shrub and maybe a grindstone just to fill in that space there. And look at how much better these are running. And we have another beaver. Oh my goodness. Oh, these beavers. Killing me. Let's get those picked up. Priorities. Oh, these beavers, you know? They just, they don't know. They don't know what they don't know, I guess. Alright, so how much power do we got coming in here now? 750, 800. That's pretty good. I'm going to pause these two power wheels. because they are not super important right now. I think getting some more planks would be good. Planks are always good, so we'll open up another one of those. Nothing to do in range. Those can both go. Okay. And how are we doing on raw food? Raw cassava, not doing great. We are fermenting all of it, which I guess, you know, it's not the end of the world, actually. Like, we are essentially cooking all of our cassava. Our kohlrabi is doing okay, not great. Our water is full, for all intents and purposes, so we can pause both of those. They're no longer needed. Let's put those in, so we can prioritize them. Then we can prioritize those platforms so that they can actually come over here and build this. Okay, so we've got a pretty good amount of power coming in here now. About 1,000, and that's without this one, which is providing another 100. Oh, man. Oh, man. Get out of there. These beavers are, they're not the most bright. Let's say that. All right. Build that first. Actually, you know what? Don't even build that first. Build this first, and then build that. I don't want any other reason for them to have to go in here. And at this point, I don't even know what their game plan is, what they're scheming. This is a ridiculous housing complex. We have 37 free beds. Oh my goodness. This one's not even attached. Oh, something tells me that this was, this should not be a priority. Yeah, just don't even... That's lowest priority. We have so many free beds at this point. This, on the other hand, not a terribly low priority. Neither are these water storage areas. Let's get a gear workshop up and running. We certainly have the power for it. We have, let's see, we're getting almost 900 now out of the stuff that we need. And I would love it if these beavers would come over here and build this. Oh, and they're still building the one underneath. Is that what they're doing? There we go. Prioritize that whole stack so that we can actually get our power tied in. Okay, so we have a drought incoming in just a few days, which will be good. Well, not good, but interesting. Let's see how we're doing. Our food is doing pretty good. One concern that I do have with regard to the food is that during the drought, we won't be able to ferment, which is a genuinely large concern. It's actually quite worrying, quite troubling when you really think about it. So, definitely something to think about as we move forward with our schemes here. I don't think we have virtually no raw cassava to ferment. And unfortunately, we don't really have a great growable area in which to plant food. I mean, maybe I could clear this out. Like if I come through here, clear this whole thing out, they're already working on it. Alright, so let's get this tied in. Let's build that at priority. And of course they're going to build the shrub first. And then let's get this built at the highest priority. Let's pull this path out a little bit. And once again, this is the extent of where we're going to go from this district. We're not going to go any further than here. But if I can build a little farming area here, I think that would be valuable. No doubt that would be valuable. All right, so with that in mind, let's see. If I got some stairs down like that, got a path in there. And then got a couple farmhouses, like 1, 2, 3. With storage behind, because this is fairly unusable space. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's go storage. No, I don't like that. Do not like that at all. So what if I get storage facing this way? With some stairs up like that. Now if I put a path on there. Yeah, that will work. Alright, so we are now in a drought. So let's pause the water pumping. Okay, and now what are these going to plant? Let's go to our plant crops. Soybean. I don't think we're ready for soybean. Oh, what are these symbols? Okay, so soybean is like the pea pod kind of thing. Food factory. What does soybean even do? I genuinely do not see soybean in here. Am I crazy? Can they just eat soybean? Fermented soybeans, yeah. In the fermenter. Fermented soybean. Oh, I guess it's flipped. Yeah, the symbol is flipped. Okay, well, we don't want to do... We want to do something that they can just eat. Right off the bat. Food factory uses corn. Yeah, so they're going to be... They're going to be planting kohlrabi. Is what it looks like. And they're going to be planting it in this entire area. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Plant the kohlrabi in here. And these will store raw kohlrabis. These will prioritize the kohlrabi, even though there's nothing else being planted over here, and this middle one will focus on harvesting. The other two will focus on planting, which is what we did in these as well. Okay, so that should give us a pretty good amount. Ooh, and that staircase was actually valuable. So if we get rid of that, and then we prioritize that, because this can reach all the way to this corner. And then once we get that built, this should be able to reach, yeah, okay, cool. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so this, all of this power is now tied in, which is great. We can go ahead and finish off putting in our platforms there. And now we have a much narrower channel for our water, and that should help quite a bit. All right, so let's do a quick check. We're doing okay with water. We are doing okay with food. Not great, not great. Getting a little concerned with the old food. We still have a decent surplus of storage for cassavas. Let's come through here. Let's prioritize both of these water storages for future use. And then let's get ready for another hauling post with all 10 job openings available. Our population is pretty stable in the mid-60s, so I think 4 birthing pods is working pretty well. Maybe 5. We might want 5. Let's get one of the ones that is starting from the very beginning opened up. Okay, so this is going well. The fermenters are not doing anything. We still have 3.5 days, and we are getting pretty low on food. Which is legitimately a concern, if we're being fully transparent about it. Legitimately a concern. If you can't tell. Concerned. This is my concerned voice. However, you know, that's probably that's a problem for another day, I guess. Okay. So one thing that I would like to do, if we move across here, this is all plantable area. And I think that we could get quite a bit done if we really put our minds to it. If we got a forester right here. Yeah, so let's get this stuff all built. That way we can see the distance of these log cutters. It's most. They can reach most, not all. I was hoping that they would be able to reach all. And I wonder if I... If I did something like that, we could plant a few more oaks here. And over here. And in here. This will be able to reach everything. So let's go into our cutting area. We can cut that. And if we prioritize all of that, we can then shift off of this path, which will be good. We can even shift this forester down. So let's do that. Let's get this forester Does that work? Yes, it does. We can get some oaks in there. And let's prioritize all of this building. Although we are going to be short on planks, no doubt. Food, pretty disastrous. We are currently left with only berries. Water, 300. 300's not great. If we're being completely honest. 300 is pretty bad. We do have a good stockpile of cassavas, so once the power gets running again, we will be able to start getting the cassavas fermented. Hopefully this kohlrabi will buffer us. It's not going to make a huge difference now, just because we set it up literally during the drought. But I think in future, it will make a difference. Like completely. I think it'll make a legitimate difference. Another little project that I would love. Let's dam this off. Just so that, you know, water stays where we want it, and then we can actually go ahead and path across there like that. That'll be good. And I'm honestly might end up building another district like here, and making it dedicated to the industrial area. We'll have to see how much this grows and how many beavers end up working in and around the industrial area. The drought has ended, so let's get our water pumping stations back online. We now have 20 vacancies. Now granted, one of them, or two of them, are hauling posts. So let's go ahead and get a couple more of these breeding pods up and running. Get a little bit more population going. And we should start to see our food supply start to do really well because of the cassava being fermented. And then our water supply should recover fairly quickly as well. And now this is all plantable area, so the beavers should come down here and plant this entire area, which will be very good. Very good indeed. We are getting a boatload of power, about 1,300 coming through here into the system. Really good to see. Getting some good kohlrabi planted in here. Our beavers have started to work on this, but not quite, you know, not quite getting there yet. But yeah, I think for the most part, oh, we got this forester built. That is great. So let's get some oaks planted in here. Let's see, can these reach? No, not quite. So we can get a couple up there, like that. Who actually can reach. So let's get those taken out so that we can get more oaks in here. And now let's adjust our cutting area. Let's get all of this marked for cutting. Just like this. Totally not necessary to do it this way. I just don't like to overlap buildings. We can pause both of these. They are not necessary. We can pause these four. Truthfully, we probably have too many lumberjack flags over here. But that's okay. There's no real reason to get rid of them. They're free buildings after all. And our kohlrabi is coming along. This is really good. I think that getting this is necessary. I think we were just about to completely outstrip our food supply if we weren't careful. with it. So I think that is good. Now, we do need to grow our population quite rapidly. We do have quite a few vacancies. Again, they're all haulers, which, as Staff Collins, you know, he made that comment, they are essential. And he's completely right. They are essential for efficiency throughout your build, throughout your colony. And I'm thinking in the next episode, we might be ready for District number 2. So that brings up a good point. If you guys have names for District number 1, and you have names for District number 2, which will be over here in this industrial area, it'll be industrially focused because this is going to grow enormously and really be the backbone of our industry, at least in the, you know, relative early game. So think up a couple good names, leave them in the comments below. If you guys made it this far and you enjoyed the video, definitely consider subscribing to stay up to date on all future videos, leaving a like and a comment, and if you are feeling oh so generous and have the ability and the willingness to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.